Welcome to our Mind the Moment's Thursday morning gathering, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am delighted to be here with Tara Healey, founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare's mindfulness program. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, everyone. Welcome on this rainy morning.
Yeah, and so nice to have your smile here this morning, Tara.
Thank you. Good to be here as always.
Yeah, so we're so happy to have everyone here and joining this morning. Happy to have our regulars back and very happy to see anybody new. I noticed there was somebody new yesterday on our Wednesday session who it's just very delightful to see people joining, new folks coming on. So happy to have both our seasoned people and our new people.
Yeah.
So with that, today, just to let folks know that are new, Tara will start us off with a question for the group. And after that, we'll answer through the chat, and then she'll share a few words with us and then lead us in a guided practice that will be approximately 12 minutes. And within that time, she'll have guidance for us as well as some silent time. So for anyone that's new to meditation, no worries, you'll be guided throughout.
Yes.
So, yeah. And so with that, just go to the bottom of your screen, open up your chat, and you have the option to click the blue drop-down menu at the bottom, which says hosts and panelists, and you can click on it and change it to everyone, and that will give everyone a chance to see your comments as you type them. So, Tara, what question do you have for us this morning?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a lead in to it. So I think probably a number of you who are regulars know that my father passed away recently on September 10th. And at his wake and funeral, there were so many people that told stories that we had never heard, but also I think highlighted how kind he was. Like I heard that so often, like your father was so kind, and he was. And I posted his obituary on Facebook, but I found, well, there is a quote that I love by the Dalai Lama, and I as part of that post, I included the quote by the Dalai Lama, and the quote is, "Be kind whenever possible. It's always possible, and be kinder than is necessary." And I really love the whole quote, but the last part especially. And so, kind of thinking of that and, in memory of my father, I just thought that a question that we could all think about is, what is something kind that someone else has done for you recently? What is something kind that someone else has done for you? And it can be the smallest thing. This doesn't have to be anything grand, but it can be, really, really anything. And also just kind of the noticing of how that lands within you, like how that inspires you or how it makes you feel. And as always, Suzanne and I will share first, and then this gives folks a little bit of time to think about it. Suzanne has just put the question in there in the chat. And Suzanne, so we'll start with you. Something kind someone has done.
Yeah, I love the question. I really do. And in thinking about it, Tara and I were talking about the question a little bit before we came on, and I really love the chance for sometimes random people to show kindness that even feels even more, I don't know, it just feels just heartwarming. So I was in the city in Boston recently, yesterday, and I was parking on a very busy street. And as I was parking, I was unsure whether I was parking in a legal spot. And there was a FedEx guy right by me, and he said, by the way, that's commercial. You're going to get a ticket. And I was like, thank you.
Oh,
Because I
yes.
still was unsure whether I should park
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was so helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's
You,
great.
Tara.
Yes. So, I mean, there are a few things that come to mind, but one recently, I was in New York City on Saturday with family, and we did a tour of the tenement museums, and my sister bought my ticket. So
Oh,
it was just a small but sweet gesture, and yeah, so. Um,
yeah, that's really nice and unexpected. I think when things are
Yeah, like,
unexpected,
yeah. I mean, we do things like that, but it's just, I don't know, just sweet. So,
hmm yeah.
um,
Oh,
oh,
we have
flowers
flowers.
and a
That's lovely.
card
Unexpected.
and cooked
Oh,
dinner.
walnut. Ah,
Uh,
drove to my house and gave it to me. How lovely, Alicia.
yeah.
Her friend sent a card that was funny and poignant, related to feeling empty and just burned out. It made me laugh.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those cards and getting mail these days, that's also unexpected. So that's so nice.
That is so nice. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, very nice.
yeah, so nice.
I was doing, my key is broken, it had to be lifted. Ah, so nice.
Oh,
Nice to bring these things to mind, aren't, isn't it
it
so
is. Like,
heartwarming?
I think especially, in this world where there's so much uncertainty globally, so much happening, and to take moments to reflect on the kindness that has been offered to us, um, in a whole variety of ways, in little ways, driving, or, yeah, like it's, I think, helpful to kind of bring it to mind that it's nurtures us in these difficult days. So
Yeah,
with
and there's
that,
so much of that
yeah,
out
go ahead.
there that yeah, there really is a lot more kindness out there than I think sometimes we realize when these other things are going on. So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
also think often about Dr. Richard Davidson, the neuroscientist, where he talks about how whatever we incline our mind towards on a daily basis, that's what we train. And so I think sometimes just remembering kindness, remembering gratitude, these are actually kind of qualities of mind that can be trained. We actually know that for sure. So,
Mhm.
anyway,
Yeah.
welcome everyone. So glad that you're here, and we'll go ahead and move into our 12-minute practice. So, as always, sitting or standing, whatever feels like it's going to serve you best this morning. And I often say, if you're tired, standing is a good practice. And if your eyes are going to remain open, just gaze downward a little bit to help remove peripheral distraction. But otherwise, allowing the eyes to close if that feels comfortable, settling into the posture that feels best for you this morning, surrendering your weight into the support of the surface, and noticing the points of contact with the back of the body and the surface that you're on. So that could be the soles of the feet or the back of the legs. And noticing how the body feels physically from your activity so far this morning. So perhaps aware of pulsing or vibration, temperature, tingling. Noticing what you're feeling physically in the body, and just receiving it. And moving from whole body awareness to extending your awareness to include sound in the room or outside of the room without labeling what's making it, but just simply hearing. And allowing sound to remain in the background as it will, beginning to bring awareness back inward, whole body, and start to narrow that focus of awareness on the sensations you notice when you breathe in and out. Where in the body do you feel the inhalation and the exhalation? And again, at the level of sensation. So is that the rise and fall of the kind of belly abdomen, or is it chest or nostrils or someplace else? And each time the mind wanders and we see it, just make a soft mental note thinking. If it's helpful, you can be more specific, like planning or worrying. And then soften the body, return to breath sensation. Continuing to do this over and over again helps to steady and calibrate the mind, which enables mindfulness to do its job better, to see clearly how things actually are. And if breath is not working for you this morning, you could use sound, returning to sound each time you see the mind has wandered, or another body sensation. So it could be a point of contact, even the palms of your hands just resting on your thighs, returning to that sensation over and over again. And so I will be silent for the next few minutes. And as soon as you see that you've gone into thought, soft mental note thinking, you can be more specific, soften the body, return to your anchor. Noticing where the mind is, gently releasing thought, soften the body, and returning to your anchor. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our body healthy and strong. And may the merit of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. And I'll count backward from 3. So 3, 2, and 1. And if your eyes were closed, you can slowly open the eyes. And if they were closed or open, it's always helpful to just take a minute to reorient to the space that you're in, maybe do a little bit of a stretch.
Thank you so much, Tara.
Yeah, of course. I'm curious, I know I've asked this before, but I do have long stretches of silence. And if anybody wants to comment on, any thoughts they have about that it's helpful, it's not helpful. But having longer bits of silence rather than just constant guiding actually helps you see what's going on a little bit easier, but it's not always as comfortable. So just if anybody wants to make a comment, I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah, I'd be curious as well. I know I've mentioned in the past that there are days when I feel like I need more guidance and days when I really enjoy the silence.
Yeah.
So I love the silence.
Okay, great.
Notice more of my mind wandering and know that's the practice.
Yes. Yeah.
All good with me. Love the silence and also love the kindness exercise.
Guided is distracting, right? It can be. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Silence is nurturing.
Yeah. Right. The silence allows for your mind to do its thing, but then you get to actually see what it's doing more clearly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good.
And ditto.
Yeah. No, I think it's I agree with what you said, Tara. It's wonderful to, you set the stage with such a lovely question, and then just going into practice and having that silent time, I think is great for all of us to see what happens.
Yeah, to see what happens. I think to your point, Suzanne, about sometimes enjoying guidance, I think that it can be, some of the teachers, because I do the same, I'll still sometimes listen. But what I notice is that they offer guidance just in the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's 30 minutes of silence and then a closing, so that it's not actually even fully guided. So I think that just having 3 minutes of no talking, and then a little bit of where's the mind? And then another 3 to 4 or 5 minutes, and then noticing is really useful, so you can see what the tendency is of the mind, and also bring yourself back, so it's sort of like you're undoing the training wheels that allow you to then but it's all good. Still, I think.
Yeah. The reminders Kara's mentioned. I do like the little short, simple, bring your mind back, relax. It's helpful too. Yeah. And, there are ways, depending on what works best for you. I know there are many sessions that you can listen to on Insight Timer, the app on your phone, that are guided throughout the whole session. So it really, there's a lot of choices out there.
There are, and different. Yeah. Typically, just so everybody knows, when I am saying, noticing where the mind is, it's because I'm waking up from the trance of thought. I am, and some teacher that I love yesterday, was Tuere Salah, I was listening to her the other day. She's amazing. And she was saying, it's just not possible to stop the mind. This is such an unfortunate misconception. Nobody's mind stops. That we're simply by bringing the attention back over and over again when we're formally practicing, we're just strengthening kind of the bucket of focus and concentration, although I prefer to use steadiness. It just feels like a softer word and more accessible, because that is really all we're doing is we're just saying to the mind, not now, release, and then return. There's always a subtle contraction in the body with thinking. So that's why I say, yes, notice the body, soften, return. And it's like weightlifting for the mind. And you're strengthening this capacity for steadiness. And mindfulness just works better when the mind has some steadiness. So we can see more clearly our motivations, our intentions, our what we kind of lean toward, what we push away, what's skillful, what's not. You just get to see clearly your own habit patterns when you bring some steadiness. So that's why we meditate, to both see what our patterns are and to bring some steadiness.
Yeah, such great reminders. When you mention about the waking up, there's just, and Tawari as well, you wonder where this misconception came from. I was just talking to a friend this weekend about these sessions and inviting her, and she's like, yeah, I always thought I had to quiet my mind.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just, like what you mentioned, it's the nature of the mind. Our mind is always kind of pinging.
Yes.
And so it's nice that we've become a community and that the world is waking up to the fact that
yes,
this is the way the mind is, and we can find little quiet moments, and
we can get to know it. It's really, I think we're getting to know the nature of our mind, but through that, we're getting to know everybody's mind. The content's different, but you're getting to see this is how minds work. This is what minds do. Yeah.
So great. Thank you, Tara, for being here and for your guidance and for giving us the silence, giving us this opportunity to practice. So, and we're grateful to the community as well for joining.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. So good to be with you on Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah. And wishing everyone a great end to the week, a nice weekend. Yeah, I even held some of those misconceptions before I started with practice. Yeah. So thank you for all the comments. Thank you for being here. And
yes, and everybody have a great rest of the short week and weekend.
Yes. And we'll see you next week. See you on Tuesday. We'll be back here with Greg Topakian.
Oh.
Okay. So thank you again. See you soon.
Okay.